I have always kind of looked at issues of justice and democracy. My colleagues and I started Malaysia Kini in 1999. Most of the media was dominated by the state, by the government. But over 20 years, in 2018, after nearly 60 years of a single party being in power, we had a democratic transition in Malaysia. So it just shows that press freedom plays an integral role in democracy, and that's the value that we held dear in Malaysia Kini. So in Asia, there are many issues, inequality being one of them. Asia has grown really fast over the last 50 years, generating many millionaires and billionaires. But a lot of Asians are stuck at the lower income level, at poverty levels. COVID-19 was particularly tough. Many people in Asia are daily waged workers. So with economies shutting down, orders to stay at home, a lot of people were out of work. And that has generated a huge amount of poverty and threats to food security. A lot of states have taken out a lot of debt during this period in order to keep providing funds. And now, as interest rates are going up, we have this debt crisis coming onto Asia, and I'm sure similarly in other parts of the world. So in Asia, it's a very pluralistic societies. So in every majority society, there are also minorities. But over time, this idea of citizenship has now been replaced with certain religious nationalism, where your religiosity or your ethnicity becomes a dominant factor. So we see Buddhist nationalism in Myanmar, in Sri Lanka. We see Islamic nationalism in, say, Malaysia and growing in Indonesia, and now Hindu nationalism in India. So one big challenge for us is to actually push for social inclusion. Democracy is something which is very much ingrained in Asia. In the older civilizations such as China, such as India, the whole idea of citizenship, of the people prospering was very much part of Asia's fabric. The whole idea of being open, about being democratic, about being fair, about being just. I feel it's a big privilege for me to be part of the Open Studies Foundations and to use the resources provided to help our partners on the ground, achieve their ambitions. Open Society is unique in the sense that we often support or invest in perhaps smaller organizations or organizations which are newer or organizations which are taking a higher risk. We do understand that by making these tougher investments, over the long term, they will pay off. Our role really is to work with local actors and support them. They have the aspirations of their countries, values, they're very entrenched in their communities. So they are actually the best to lead. For Asia, success looks like having governments which are more democratic, having people who are more energized and able to speak up and participate in the societies that they are creating. And I'm sure in 10 to 15 years, we'll see all these changes gather steam in Asia.